What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you've been on any forums lately, in the local area especially, you've been probably seeing people talking about a Ned Rig. If you don't know what a Ned Rig is, stay tuned on this video. I'm going to talk about what a Ned Rig is. So putting a small bait on a small jig head has been around for a long time, as long as there's been plastic baits and jig heads, probably from the 50s. But the term Ned Rig didn't come about until about the mid-2000s. About 2010 is whenever the term Ned Rig was keyed in. And in about 2000, a gentleman named Ned Cady in Kansas decided he was going to do some experimenting and combine a mushroom head jig head with a small soft body bait. Now, Ned Rig is anything 2 to 3 inches is the best size to use for Ned rigging. 2.5 seems to be a really nice size to use. This is a 2.8 inch bait. So, but what a Ned Rig is a very finesse way of fishing, and it's for cold water. It's for, you know, heavily pressured fish. This time of year, the redfish are up the creeks. They are deep and they are spooky, and they don't want to have big baits thrown at them. So we're throwing Ned Rigs and we're catching fish. So even though it's a bass technique from the Midwest, it works for redfish too. The only thing is a Ned Rig hook is pretty small shank hook, and it will straighten out. So you're gonna have to back your drag off and allow the fish to do a little bit more pulling than what it normally does. You don't want to straighten your hook out. But what a Ned Rig does is it goes, you put your hook just like you would just thread it on a normal jig head, and just like that, and then whenever it sits on the bottom like this. So it sits just straight up and down on the bottom, and you bounce it along the bottom, and it looks like a feeding fish down the bottom. Or you can use a crawl bait, it'll look like a crab down there, crawfish if you're in freshwater. There's quite a few different types of Ned Rig baits, although it's probably one of the more limited that you can find as far as what there is available. So you got to find a small bait, and a 2.5 inch bait is, you know, they're out there. You know, most companies have them, but there's not a lot of variety. So Z-Man has probably some of the best variety of what Ned baits are. These are Kitex right here. But it's just a slow finesse presentation. You throw it out there, you just bounce the bottom real slow with it, and you'll see the you know, you feel the line jump and set the hook on them. Since it is a finesse presentation, I like to throw a fairly light rod. This is a medium light Cajun trigger, and with a quantum smoke reel, and it's you know, it's fairly light setup. You know, if I get into a real big redfish, it may be a little bit too light, but it's good for what I want to catch in the slot range. So but it's a fun little setup. You know, it's light action and lightweight, and again, you can just really finesse them with that. And it's cold water conditions, which is right now. So, you know, if you're having trouble catching fish, scale back and try a Ned Rig out. You may catch a fish or two. Thanks for watching. Got him. First fish on the smoke. Nice one. It's a good one. It's another good one. Come on, baby. Oh. Got him. On the Ned. Another real pretty one. Got him. Look, one fish, one bait with these things though. Got him. Loving that Ned Rig. Got him.